Hello everybody and welcome back to Misclick's D&D Devotion, Chapter 1, Episode 27, Part 3. Let's kick it off. Ooh, we can kind of hear the music I was playing during the break, and we're going to hear that same music kick in right away, but pay attention to it, right? Wait for it. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Misclick's D&D Devotion.
Sorry, I'm busy shopping for wigs. Canadian shipping wigs.
You'd be surprised how long it took me to find silver, short, undercut anime boy wig.
Yeah, they're talking about wigs for a little while. Let's just move on.
No weirderino, I promise.
No, here we go. Here we go. So they're still talking about wigs. It doesn't matter. Listen to the music.
Good point. Okay. Good point.
Anyways, devotion.
Okay. You guys, doesn't that music feel out of place? Doesn't that music feel like not the sort of music that you have right before you go take a big boat adventure? Isn't that music a little foreboding or maybe a little bit creepy? Or just something? That's all. That track is called March of the Faithful on Tabletop Audio. And if you go over to regalgoblins.com and you go to the toolbox right there at the top of the header, we've got the Tabletop Audio track associations there, where we list kind of how songs feel and good opportunities of when to use them. And if we look at the March of the Faithful track there, it's down-tempo, it's grim. The uses are like walking to your doom, resigned to a terrible fate, ancient underground temple, it's too late, the demons are here, right? It's kind of like a pretty serious track that you play in a pretty terrible situation. So why are we playing this foreboding, terrible music right when they're about to leave town?
Nice. Devotion.
Okay. You guys are approached by Kalia, who says she's booked a ship that leaves the next day. You've put Kess to bed. Is there anything else you guys want to do tonight?
Well,
same glass.
I want to make up a plan already for what we're gonna do about Rhonda. So how about,
Really, what I'm asking, is there anything you want to do before you leave town as a polite way to say we're about to leave town, but I don't want to skip right to the scene, get your shit out there, so it's not like, we're leaving town, oh, but I wanted to do blah, blah, blah.
like now that we're signed off from this place because we're on a ship, right? That's what we're doing?
Mm-hmm.
So like it is said in the records that we left, correct?
No, you have not left yet.
Oh, so like once we'll have left, then it will be on the record.
Yes.
So technically we could get back in an alternate way, sneaky way, and then break her out and people wouldn't know if it was us or not.
Is there any reason why you...
Yes, you can leave town, sneak back into town so no one knows that you're there and try and break someone out of prison, but this is the keep in the capital city of the kingdom. You're not equipped to do this.
You want to do this when Kel Bell will be able to get her out easy peasy?
Thank you,
Well,
Ransom.
you guys said it would be too late.
Thank you.
Saying my ID was bad, so I'm trying to go along with your ID
Look,
now.
I corrected you.
Oh God, she says ID instead of idea, and it's English as a second language, and she's got a bit of an accent, so it's okay. But idea,
But
I know that's really petty of me,
she's
but
good for a few weeks.
Well, we should probably get back here in like a week.
there's some native English speakers that say ID instead of idea as well.
And then we'll do the dimensional folding, and that'll only take a week then.
I don't get what you mean. You want to go back home and back here again?
Exactly, that's where Kel Bell is.
But I sent the messenger.
Oh, well, that seemed like a waste of 10 gold then.
Good job, Ransom.
Well, dimensional folding is like 100 gold, so that seems like a super good deal to me.
but then she won't. Then she'll be cutting it close.
That's why we should probably be back here to stop any process or jury from happening.
Right. It's a good thing it won't happen for 2 to 3 weeks, and it'll only take us 1 week to get back.
Yeah, we'll be back here in a week. Good point.
Yes.
I actually didn't follow their math. They'll be back in 2 weeks at very best, not 1 week. But whatever, we're all on the same page now, and it's the page I want them to be on, so I'm not going to complain that their math makes no sense.
Meanwhile, let's
Except in the director's commentary.
just go play some music or something.
Yeah, that's what they want. Look, we can see they're already starting to get bored again. Not enough is happening. There's too much talky-talky, not enough action-action. All right, I think you guys passed that night. The next morning,
talking with Dad.
So he says, I spend the night talking with Dad, so we should engage on that topic at least a little bit. Try and start role-playing out a scene. See if there's something specifically he wants to say. Trump rarely speaks up. He's one of the more quiet players, and his character is also a little bit more quiet. So even though we are trying to move things forward and we're trying to jump to the next scene and we're playing this foreboding music because we're setting the mood for something terrible about to happen, we're going to take a moment to entertain his idea because he rarely gets any screen time. So if he's asking for some screen time, we're gonna give it to him, right? He's not a screen hog. If anything, he gives up the screen time too easily. So we'll go ahead and just start role playing a little something and see where it goes. Sorry you had to spend some time in jail because of me, son.
Oh, now we
No problem.
That sound is once again Jen messaging me with spells.
How apparently those elves apparently tried to put you in jail. Is that true?
It's true, but love makes people do stupid things. So we're trying to brush over the incident and kind of patch up Kess and Ransom again, which we should have stopped trying to do. We said it was the last time a long time ago, but what the hell, I'm only human. You know, love makes people do stupid things. It's a nice excuse to kind of help Ransom forgive Kess and Kellen for their things. You know, if she didn't love you, she wouldn't be trying to throw me in jail in exchange for you. Or maybe she just really hates me. Maybe she's just looking for an excuse to jail me and she didn't care if it got you out of jail. But I think there are probably easier ways.
Alright, well that's rough. That's given me a lot to think about.
You know, it's probably just because they think I'm replacing their father and they're like, you know, shifting and projecting their inner frustrations onto me. Really, I think I'm quite a likable guy and they just can't stand me, the sight of me and their mother together. You know how kids can be.
Yep, that sounds right to me.
Well, you looking for a new girl now that one's all...
It'll probably take me a while to get over it. So, no worries.
Really? Oh, that's a cute moment right there. It'll probably take me a while to get over it. That's like a nice little concession, a nice little Kess, there's still hope for our relationship. You know, it's going to take me a while. Like, you know, that you didn't have to say that. That was sweet. Really? I mean, all she's done since I've met her is like whine and complain about everything. She hasn't had like a single pleasant moment since I've met her. This conversation here is for Kess, because I know she's listening to the conversation and her character has been getting out of hand and all she has done is been whining and bitching at Liam the whole time. So yeah, it's time someone calls her out on her shit. Which is nice because we can do it without doing it to her face.
Yeah,
Do you really want to be with someone like this? Like, what about your happiness, son?
No, you're right. That's why during the trip back, I'll probably be telling her that it's off.
You're gonna break up? 100%?
I think so.
Well, bombshells. Takes a strong man to realize when he needs to cut loose from dead weight. But good job. I'm proud of you. Bombshells. They're gonna break up. But we're not making that big of a deal out of it. That's because we already are in the middle of enacting our plan to bring them closer together than ever. That's what that foreboding music is. That March of the Faithful is setting up something, and it ended up getting played up too early because now this conversation's going on, and now it's just kind of inappropriate, and the conversation's not really matching the tone of the music, and so it didn't work out like it was supposed to, but we're supposed to be setting up an even bigger bombshell of a moment that will bind Kess and Ransom together in a bond that cannot be broken. You know, your brother and I have all sorts of operations that are outstanding if you'd like to come and... This is all a red herring. Join the family business, and gives a little backstory to Ransom's family.
You know, that just might be the thing to get me back out of the state. Will you be based back home?
No, I don't know where we're going. They're looking out for us pretty heavily. I have no idea where he'd possibly go. I also don't care because I know what's about to happen. So I don't know. Let's pull some shit out of our ass. Back home. You got any plans?
You know, I'm gonna show Dad the ring. I've been doing all right myself.
Ooh. Ransom showing a desire to be a thief, a burglar. I think this is something we should play into a little bit later. Where the hell did you get this one
off of Kelbell's husband?
That's my son. That's my boy. I'm so proud of you. I could almost cry.
I wasn't gonna do it. It's just that he was kind of being a jerk.
Fuck him, right? Who needs him?
Where am I gonna go to join you guys? Do you have a way to contact me?
I think I'm hoping Kalia's booking passage for me, and right, this here is me saying don't worry about it, it's not important, we'll deal with it later. And you know, Liam the Third, Neeson, that's his son's name. Liam the Third. In my mind, it was Liam the Second, and then the younger brother being Liam the Third. But maybe he's interpreting it as this is Liam the Second, and then his younger brother was Liam the Third, and maybe he's viewing this as like a father-son favoritism. I don't really know. That it was intended as Liam 1, Liam 2, and then Neeson being Liam 3. I don't know. Hoping she's booking passage for all of us. Otherwise, I don't know. Maybe we'll just head down to maybe Drekis. We'll have to take a roundabout way. They don't sail between Akuba and Drekis anymore, not after the war. But backstory on the world. There's good stuff going on there. Whenever we get a chance to slip in a little bit of lore, we do it.
Sure, I get these things sorted out with Rhonda, then I might head over to Drekis.
All right. You know, if we had known that there was going to be all this talking, like 7.5 minutes up until this point, we would have been playing cheerful bar music, and then we would have cut into the serious music after that, and it would have been way more effective. We were kind of expecting it to be like, hey, we're back. Okay, it's the next day and we're going down to the docks. But instead it was, hey, we're back. Let's talk about wigs for 3 minutes, and then let's like have a scene between Ransom and his father for 3 minutes. 4 minutes, whatever. So the music ended up getting played way too early. Yeah. Nothing you can do. I'm gonna go, you know, see if your ex-girlfriend's mother is still awake. You know what I mean?
You got him, Dad.
And he takes off. I gotta say, the Trump is very encouraging of his dad's relationships, which is nice to see family caring for family, but I don't have that sort of relationship with my parents where I'm like, you go get them, Dad, you go have fun. You know, it's weird for me, so it's really weird for me when Ransom does it to his fictional father as well. And I guess we just go to the next morning where everybody's waking up. This is where the music should have started playing. Getting out of bed. Kalia is hurrying everybody along, acting very motherly. Wake up, everybody! We have to get breakfast! The ship's leaving soon!
I cast no customs as I wake up.
Okay. First, you have to memorize it, Jen. Yes, Kellen, get out of bed, sleepyheads.
I immediately go to Kellen, and I'm like bawling my eyes out.
I hold her and I'm like, cut.
If we knew that if we were going to have those extended hair scenes and Liam Ransom scenes, we would also ask Kess and Ransom about sleeping conditions. Are they still keeping separate rooms? I'm assuming they are, but it would have been a nice thing to ask.
Yes, what's wrong? I mean, aside from all the stuff that I know is wrong, which is a lot, but like what particularly?
I just have a bad feeling right now.
I know it's wildly unprofessional, but there's food cooking in the house and it smells really good. We should be talking about the show, but all I can think about is the sauce.
It's even worse now.
Well, let's back up because this is what I like to do when the world just feels too heavy and overwhelming, and I just feel like there's not a drop of heart left in me. It's important to get down to the heart of the matter. You know what I mean? It's about forgiveness.
Yes.
This is a good speech Anna's about to give.
For everything that's happened lately. I mean,
Forgiveness. Or not. Maybe it's not about forgiveness.
This is real good right here.
I have to forgive Ransom for what he's done, and now he probably is mad.
That's not what she's talking about.
Selling his stupid father out.
Maybe it is, I don't know.
You know, you're onto something. And I think that, you know, when I feel like people have let me down and I need to figure out what to do, I start with the man in the mirror. And I ask him to change his ways. Because no message could be any clearer that if you want to make the world a better place, you got to look at yourself and make a change.
So I need to make the change. It's not Ransom, it's me.
Whatever that change may be, you know, like, is it a change in direction? Is it a change in your heart? Is it in your mind? Is it with someone else? Is it a change in a relationship? I don't know.
I don't know. Everything was so good for so long, and I don't even know what happened. I don't even know where it turned around.
Cass, you gotta focus on the future, you know? You gotta get excited. You gotta just get super excited. Yeah.
This music does not fit the scene at all.
I think it'll be good if we play music again. I feel like we haven't played much lately, except for with Mom, and that was dreadful.
Right.
I'm happy that you and Livia are doing well.
Yeah, I think we are. I think we were.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What about the whole guy thing?
I don't know. But, you know. Yeah. Anyways.
Okay.
So anyway, I'm just looking forward to getting out of this place and like hopefully saving Ron.
That was deliciously awkward. I don't even know what to make of that situation, but it was deliciously awkward.
Yeah.
But I hope, do you feel any better? I don't know. Was that a supportive brother? I'm trying to be a supportive brother.
You are. I love you. I'm so glad you guys are here, and I hope things will work out. I don't know what I want right now. I think having that time alone on the boat and then those dreams, I just feel so funky. And then with Dad passing away, everything just feels
we get it, Kess. You're having a hard time.
What
I don't
could
know how to make it
Ransom,
better.
what could Ransom do, or what could he say, or what could he be to make it better?
All right. So my interpretation of this is Kellen is well, God, I don't even know how to separate between player and character anymore. But Kellen is asking Kess this so that Ransom can overhear the answer and patch up their relationship. Also, as like a twofer, asking Kess this goes and makes Kess be like, okay, what could be done to fix these problems. Rather than focusing on the problems that exist, let's look for solutions. So it's kind of getting Kess to open her mind to forgiving Ransom for whatever problems he has caused that she thinks she's caused or whatever. But it's also giving Ransom the opportunity to be like, oh, these are how to fix these things. This is a 2-for question. It's super solid. This is like the best anyone... This speech that Kellen is giving Kess right now, this whole interaction, is the best job of patching up Kess and Ransom that anyone's done. And I've been trying to do it for a while now. Right? The last 2 episodes have all been about... Well, the last episode was all about trying to patch up Kess and Ransom. This episode's all about trying to patch up Kess and Ransom. And here, Kellen sweeps in, and in like a 5 or 6 minute scene, does a much, much better job of it than I had done in like 6 hours.
What he used to be so... I feel like he used to be supportive, or was I just missing what he is? Was I blinded by love?
You know what they say, love is blind. Oh, hi, Mark.
I feel like
There's someone in her room?
one, not asking me to
I thought she was in a conference room. Who the fuck is Mark? Is that a reference to something? I don't know what's going on.
Look, we can't dwell on the past. You got to put your behind in the past.
Okay, I'll make an effort.
Put your past in the behind? Put your behind in the past? What?
Now that we did something too.
Right. The party is gathered, everyone's fed. Kalia's hurrying everybody down towards the docks to hop on a ship to get the hell out of town. She's covered your fees with her rock star life savings. Remind everyone that Kalia is actually a rock star. Is there anything, Olivia, there was something you wanted to do? You cast No Customs. Was there something you wanted to do with that spell in particular?
Yeah, I wanted to understand the laws about like how long would Rhonda have, how like the laws work. Could we exonerate her somehow? Could she have claimed self-defense? Because when I read what No Customs is, it seems like it's that. It's like no the laws, no the whatever.
Right, so you get that if you kill somebody in self-defense, it's acceptable only if you were actually, your life was in danger, right? So if someone comes to like punch you and you stab them, you just murdered them. That's murder.
Yeah.
And there's also exceptions to that. You know, if anyone attacks a noble, even if they're not using lethal force, a noble can defend themselves with lethal force. But that only applies to nobles from Mystria, from Akuba. So Rhonda here is just like any other regular person. She gets like no special treatment according to the law.
Yeah.
So from what you saw, so this is another nice opportunity where we can do a little bit of lore, remind everybody nobles get extra permissions, also remind everybody that you're not in the, those extra permissions only apply if you're actually in your kingdom. Being in different kingdoms is like being in different countries. Your rank and status don't apply as much. Connections, you can probably shift some things, especially since money can get things done, political connections can get things done in between international borders, but you know, it's a sticky situation. The right political connections and the right amount of money to make that go away.
Yeah.
But it's not an easy task.
Mm-hmm.
Can I get
for Kelville?
Yeah, or some other really well connected and powerful noble. Can I get perception checks from the whole party as you walk down the dock to your ship?
Oh. Good enough.
Crap. Yeah, more than good enough. Okay, so here we're actually getting to what we've been building up. Are at the very point. We have been playing this music. We've been trying to build to this very important scene right here. We ask for perception checks as like a way of introducing the scene. It doesn't really matter if they pass or fail. If they all fail, then we could do like, it could be a cool surprise attack, but they're not all failing, so it doesn't really matter. Now we're gonna take a moment to set everyone's positions on the dock so we have an idea of where everyone stands.
Oh. Good enough.
Crap. Yeah, more than good enough. So I think Ransom and Kalia are at the very point walking towards the ship first together. Kess and Kellen, some perception checks, please. Kess and Kellen's perception checks don't matter in the slightest in this situation, but we're asking for them because we always want to get everyone to roll all the checks all the time. We don't want any like, oh, I didn't roll, maybe I should have seen that. No, just you ask for checks from everyone, you get them from everyone. Done. Oh my god.
Man, rolling hot tonight.
Oh my god. Okay. So Ransom's clearly paying attention up ahead. I think Olivia and Kess are maybe talking together in a weird, rare moment where they're chatting side by side while they're walking.
I got the 20.
So Ransom and Kalia in the front. Then Olivia and Kess together. I don't know why I put them together. I just thought they never get to hang out and do anything together, so let's just put them side by side right now.
Me.
Yeah, I know. I know.
Okay.
Yeah. You guys are chatting together. I think Kellen and what's his name? Neeson. Not Samsung. Neeson. Kellen and Neeson are having a random.
Samsung? Is that what you said?
It is what I said, but that's not his name.
Just making sure.
That's our next NPC's name.
Okay. And his friend LG?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
LG and OG, the twins. The three of you in the back, Olivia, Kess, and Kellen, you hear this like rapid boop, 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 boop. Right, and we got Kellen and not Samsung. God, I did it again. And Neeson together. Now, we don't mention where Liam is. We should have. That's actually probably the most important thing. It ends up not mattering, but we should have.
And his friend LG?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
LG and OG, the twins. The three of you in the back, Olivia, Kess, and Kellen, you hear this like rapid boop, 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 boop of heavy boots on wooden planks. From behind you. Ransom, you're engrossed in conversation. Don't even notice. Yes,
I
danger.
grab Olivia's arm and turn us around to look.
You see running down the walkway are the 5 remaining bounty hunters, weapons in hand, coming down the docks right for you.
All right, I cast.
Liam's over there.
Liam's in between you and them right now, Kellen. See, we should have set that up as Liam is pulling up the rear. Forgot to say it, but it's okay. Kellen points it out for us. He's
over there.
bringing up
Push
the
him
rear.
forward.
We push him forward. That line is going to cause so many problems down the line.
I have an idea.
Okay.
I
the bounty hunters draw their weapons. So we bring it up the rear.
Forward.
We hear what she says, and then we go silent, waiting for her to say, I'm kidding or something, and she doesn't. So we're going to take it as canon.
I have an idea.
Okay. The bounty hunters draw their weapons, and...
You know what? I grabbed the hands of my friends. So Kess and Kellen and Ransom. And
You can't grab the hands of 3 people. You can only grab the hands of 2 people because you only have 2 hands. Only reach Kess, Kellen, and Neeson. Ransom is too far ahead with Kalia.
Oh. Well, we can just push him forward. It's okay.
She says it again. Push Ransom's father
I didn't
into...
actually do. I was kind of just like under my breath to Olivia, like Ransom's or Liam's over there. Like I wasn't trying to actually.
So Olivia, are you actually trying to push Liam into the bounty hunters? This is a very important moment here, whether you're doing this or not. So we got to give her a chance to consider the weight of her actions. I mean, I already know in my head that these bounty hunters are going to kill Liam. That's the point of this scene, is that Liam gets killed, and then Ransom has his father die right after Kess had her father die, and that whole like you weren't around for me for my father's death. Now we can see the roles reverse, and then Kess can be there for ransom, and they can patch up their relationship through the father's death. Or she can say, whatever, you blew me off, I'm blowing you off, and the whole thing can burn to the ground in an epic way. This is the make or break moment where Liam dies. So Olivia pushing Liam into these bounty hunters is purely symbolic, right? They're running down the docks towards him. If you push him, you're gonna move him, what, maybe? If you give him a good push and he loses the balance, you're gonna push him like 10 feet closer to them. But that doesn't change what they're doing. They're still running down the dock to kill him. Like, that extra 10 feet doesn't make a big difference in terms of the enemy's objective. It doesn't make it actually that much easier for them to get what they want. It's purely symbolic. So we're giving her a moment to consider her options because that's a huge thing. I think you think about it,
Yes,
and
I
you're
give him
pausing.
a push. No, I give him a push.
All right.
Can I grab him back?
Why don't you guys give me opposed dexterity checks to see if Kess can intervene with Olivia. If Kess can like stop Olivia from it happening.
Even though I wanted to happen, it's my boyfriend's father, so I probably should do something. Wait,
Yeah.
dexterity.
Okay. Well, and as I try pushing him, I'm like, you wanted your son to deal with his own shit, now you deal with yours. And
you clearly don't have enough time to say that while you push somebody. Go to push him.
You don't only have a 7 dex, do you?
Yep.
Kess
Oh, you only have... Okay.
pulls her back just in time before she gets to push Liam. Liam's looking at you like, you coming to push on me? What's going on? As the bounty hunters run up from behind him, and the first two get to him. Two of them get to him, establishing that the promenade that they're on, the walkway that they're on, is only 2 people wide. That is a natural 18 and a natural 10. Luckily, they actually did roll an 18 and a 10. This is one of those moments where, because we don't roll on screen, how should I say? There are certain set story elements where the DM says this happens. And it's really nice to be able to be, as a DM, say, this happens for sure. And it's nice having the dice off screen so the players never really know what is a this happens moment versus a I'm actually rolling dice. So for the players, every moment is an uncertain, like what's happening, I don't really know, something's in the air. Had these guys rolled natural 1s, each one of them, it doesn't matter because they're killing Liam. That's the point of this scene. They're running up from behind him. He's not paying attention. He's looking at the girls in front of him, and he's gonna get run through with the sword like Kess saw in the dream in the last episode. But in this case, they actually did roll an 18 and a 10. So that was nice. That was cool. Doesn't matter. 10 is a hit. The 18 plus 2 for back attack becomes a 20, which clears by enough. So that's a double crit and a normal hit from the first. So it's actually problematic because the dice do come up what I say they come up. And so I start rolling for damage and HP, and you'll see the problem I run into right away. First bounty hunter from the other one.
I scream out, "Gone!"
Clears by enough. So that's a double crit and a normal hit from the first bounty hunter from the other one.
I scream out, "Guards!"
So
Guards!
6, 5, 2, and 1 is 14 damage. Didn't necessarily need to call out the exact damage, but it was a critical hit, so why not? It's fun. It was a double crit and a hit or whatever. To the 7 HP That's the problem. We want Liam to die. This is a scripted event where he dies. And then we say he takes 14 and he has 7. We didn't need to say he had 7. All we needed to say was that he took 14. We didn't even need to say that, actually. All we need to say is that they come behind him, run him through with a sword, and he dies. But we call out the exact numbers. And the exact numbers bring him to -7, which means he actually has 3 HP to spare. It's possible that the players, if they act perfectly, could keep him from dying, which is terrible because this is a scripted event where he's supposed to die. It's part of the story that he dies here. It's not like random combat where the goblin's making an attack against you and the ogre's swinging a club at you and there's a dragon and we gotta roll for the dragon damage. No, this is a scripted event in the story. This is an important moment in the story that I'm deciding happens as a DM. But then I slip and I spill too much information to the players, and we will see how it falls out. Liam.
He's only 7 HP?
He's a single, yeah, he's a 0th level character.
Didn't I pull him back?
You pulled Olivia.
No, I pulled him back.
Oh, so you were reaching for him instead of them? No, they can still close the distance because they're charging down the... All you've done is bring him, like, to you, and then you can see his eyes.
I don't take any damage.
You see his eyes... What'd you say? Like, to you, and then you can see his eyes.
I don't take any damage.
I don't take any damage? Does she want to take damage? I thought that's what she said, but I dismissed it as like, of course nobody's asking to be taking damage here or there. She should have taken damage if the sword ran through Liam and into her, but I wasn't planning on that happening, and doesn't matter in the end. You see his eyes go wide as a sword runs into him from behind.
Pull him back.
Yeah, you pull him, but they're coming that way too. So they still, like, even though you pull him towards you, they just move that extra 3 feet. And you see his eyes go wide and like, yeah, like pulling somebody towards you is actually gonna make any sort of difference when like the enemy's charging down from behind him. Look down and he takes like a stumble back and there's like a short sword running through his chest. And then you like look up and you see his face and his eyes like, holy shit. And if we remember, this is the exact thing she had in her dream. The sword like draws out from the back of him, and he just like slumps to the side and falls down on the dock.
Well,
and I think this is
fucked it
probably where you might want to roll initiative.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Babe, you should heal him, because we shouldn't have like let Ransom's dad die.
Well, I didn't expect him to be so squishy. You know?
I didn't either. I kind of thought that a grown man who fathered a grown man who has a lot of HP might have a little more HP than 7.
I kind of yell out really loud and for a guard as well.
Okay.
I scream for guards.
Calls for guards go up. Let's roll initiative.
Yeah, let's roll for initiative.
So now we're gonna bounty hunters on the dock. Now we're gonna struggle to make sure Liam dies because we fucked it up. We let the players know that he's not actually at 0. They're at -10. We didn't need to call out what any of our die rolls are. We could have just said they run him through and he's dead now. But because the die rolls actually indicated the sort of damage we wanted, we just rolled it out and called it out. Now we've backed ourselves into a corner. And Jen's gonna try and save him, and watch how we subtly influence her not to save him.
I hear stuff.
Oh, well, it's not playing for me.
Oh, I did.
Except
I don't
we have battle
I don't
music
hear it
problems.
anymore.
Well, I turned back with extreme shock.
Yes.
This happened.
Everybody else on the docks is seeing what's going on too. Those that are unarmed are getting out of the way.
Is there people seeing this?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, I take a very strong mental note of who's there at this moment.
Okay. What did we all roll for? Initiative. 8, 16, 9, and we're missing an Anna roll. Look at that nervousness on her face.
Ice cream.
Not joining initiative? Are you just
Yeah, she
standing back
did.
and watching? Oh,
She
okay.
did 12. Ice cream out.
Okay, there you go.
Don't kill them. We need them alive. Let's not get into any more trouble.
How do
Okay. So Liam bleeds 1 point we bleeds beginning
What?
of the
He's
round.
not dead?
No, he's bleeding to death though.
Oh, I can save him. Cute.
That's what I said, babe. You're such a good healer, babe. I appreciate you.
And the bodyguard that is literally the bounty hunter that's one of the two that stabbed Neeson draws her short sword out of his body, or I guess it's already out, and looks to you guys and says, "There needs be no more bloodshed. We're here for what we've got. Give the party a chance to surrender. I would like to see more surrenders and disengagements than fights to the death in my D&D campaign. So I like having the bounty hunters give the party a chance to back off." And holds her action. Her ally adjacent to her holds her action as well, and it becomes Kess's turn.
If I cast Stinking Cloud on him, will it hit just them, or no? It'll hit all of us.
You can probably cast it. There's a very clear dividing line between them and you guys. So you could cast it so it only hit, so it wouldn't hit you guys, but it would also hit a lot of innocent bystanders. Stinging Cloud doesn't actually do any damage. It just makes you feel really sick. So by saying it would hit a lot of innocent bystanders, I'm trying to get her not to cast the spell without saying you can't, because of course she can. So I try to guilt trip her into not casting the spell, because if she gets the spell off, then the party can easily recover Liam's body.
Oh, it would? Okay, never mind.
Yeah. And she takes the bait and doesn't cast the spell. Not a big deal if you hit people with Stinking Cloud. While you think...
I want to tie them up.
Well, they're armed. They're not going to let you tie them up.
Can I disarm them?
Yes, you can make an attack at their weapon, and then if you hit their weapon, you can try and like make a strength check to see if you knock it out. But it's
It
a
never
difficult
works.
thing to do. It's really hard to disarm somebody. You got to be a pretty good fighter.
Yeah, you're better off knocking them out than disarming
Yeah,
them.
it's
Okay,
a-
then
I've never seen anyone disarm in any campaign with Neal involved ever.
I take my scythe and I knock them out. With
That's
that.
because in all the campaigns she's been in, it's been tried like once or twice. Yes, disarming somebody is a difficult move. You need a lot to get it. Because you have to make an attack against AC 16, hit that attack, and then beat a strength check. So it's unlikely. You need to be strong and high level, or at least have a good attack roll to be able to properly disarm. And that's the way it should be. Make me roll to hit at -2. But as you're doing that, that provokes their readied attacks that they had held. So they both
it's a
stab
good
at
roll.
you. Nice roll to hit, though. Their attacks are a 14 and a 17. So one of them stabs you for 6 points of damage, but you
I actually
do
think
clear
the
by 5.
14
You
should have hit
critical
as well.
One of them. Roll me.
Yeah.
Roll me 2d4. You're hitting them with the bottom of your scythe, so it's only going to do d4 damage.
6.
Nice. You crack the first one in the head, and she goes down in a heap. Just passes out right
So
away.
which one is that one? The one who just hit me for 6 points of damage?
Yes. I don't remember which one's which. It's all kind of a mess, so sure, that's the one. She
Okay.
goes down. Next person up is Jen.
I cast Horizon on the...
Do I wait to do my second attack then?
Wait. Oh yeah, go ahead and make your second attack right now. That is a
Wow.
hit.
Oh, nice.
Are we on a narrow?
3
here? Or is
damage.
there a lot of room?
There is a little bit of room. There's enough room for 2 people to stand side by side.
3 damage.
Okay. That person is alive.
But I mean, like, did I knock him out or no?
No. You hit him
Okay.
hard, but not enough. Jen, you went the next at 9. What's that +4 for? Is that for Orison?
Orson, yeah.
So here's the sneaky part. Jen's trying to cast a spell to save Liam's life. This is a scripted scene where Liam dies, but we fucked up, and now it has become an unscripted scene where maybe they can save him. Okay. I think watch how I struggle and find a way to make it impossible. You are gonna have to wait actually, because Kess and Kellen and Neeson are like, well, so Kellen and Neeson were the closest to these people. And
Well,
then, remember how we set it up earlier where Olivia and Kess were in the middle and Kellen and Neeson were at the back and Ransom and Kalia were in the front, and then like Liam was in the way back. So now we're saying that Olivia and Kess can't get to the body because Kellen and Neeson are in the way, which is questionable because Olivia tried to push Liam and Kess did pull Liam. But now that he's been stabbed, he's too far to reach. We're in this weird sort of like combat state where people are moving and bodies are falling, and anything could go any possible way. Like Liam could be in reach or he could not be in reach, depending on the flow of combat. And the flow of combat is entirely up to the DM, right? So we can very conveniently just say you can't reach him. There's people in your way and there's battles happening and you just can't reach him. What's her name? Kess kind of like inserted herself in that by grabbing Liam, and now they're like awkwardly positioned. So they're like, you're a row of people behind, away from from Liam.
I feel my character would know, like, am I foreseeing that I can cast this before like the end of this round? Or am I thinking like there's no freaking way I should cast something else?
If Kellen or Neeson can push these guys out of the way, you can get to the body. But so right there, we're giving her a way to waste her spell, and she catches it. We're saying, yeah, man, just hold your action, and maybe the flow of combat will move in such a way that you can get to the body. And she's like, I ain't doing any of that shit. I want to cast a different spell.
There, people. I need to get to the body.
Right.
Get the fuck out. I scream to move over.
Kellen, it is not your yes, it is your turn. It is your turn. I could have sworn she cast a different spell right there, but apparently not.
You know what, Neal?
Here it is.
Actually, like, I know the turn already went by, but I feel that it's not true to my character. It's more true to me, and I should have cast command instead.
Okay, what would you do then? Go ahead, do it.
I would.
And we're very happy to let her change the spell. You know, usually you roll initiative for a spell, your turn happens, and you say you're holding a spell, and then you say later, wait a minute, I don't want to do that. And I'm like, fuck no. You already said you're doing this shit. You're stuck in place. That's part of the chaos of battles. Maybe sometimes you do something like, shit, I shouldn't have done that, right? But in this situation, we really don't want her to hold that Orison. We want her to engage in combat. So we say, fine. You can take back your actions. That's great. You want to do something else? That's fine.
Would cast command surrender on the leader-looking one.
Okay, let's do that instead. That sounds more like...
it sounds more like me, and I feel guilty going for the easy heal thing.
No, I appreciate you doing what's in character rather than what's first order optimal. You cast command surrender on the person facing down Kess and Kellen, and she drops her short sword and puts her hands up in the air. So this is one of those moments where we're in a scripted, well, what was a scripted event that fell apart. And if I felt like the story, how should I say this? The NPC fails their saving throw. If the only way to achieve the ends of our scripted event was for this NPC to pass the saving throw, if the failure of the NPC to make that check results in Liam getting saved, we would probably have fudged that roll. But that's the only real time. Either when we're pretending to roll and the roll actually doesn't matter, when you're like, oh yeah, the bounty hunters come up and they attack Liam, and you know you're gonna kill him, so you fake roll. That doesn't really count. This is one of those situations where maybe, just maybe, I would have considered fudging a roll. I felt like the situation, there were 5 NPCs, one of them was getting commanded to surrender. That wasn't that important. It was one of the 2 foremost NPCs, so it could be like, that's a pretty risky thing. But I'm thinking to myself, okay, nobody else has any healing magic. Nobody else can get to Liam right now. This NPC could be killed. This NPC could surrender. This NPC could do anything, and it wouldn't make a difference regarding someone healing Liam this round. So there's no reason to make any adjustments. And so we let the NPC surrender. This scripted event has gotten way out of our hands, and we're trying to bring the scripted event back into script, back into Liam dying and the party battling these bounty hunters.
Tie her up!
That's right.
There are still 3 more.
What? Wasn't there 1 KO already?
No, there were 5 total that came down the runway. Kellen, yes, it is your turn, Kellen.
Well, can someone grab her? I guess I'll just say, grab her!
Well, it's Kellen's turn to grab her.
Yeah.
Or not.
So, Liam is still bleeding to death, right?
Yes.
I think Kellen would try to stabilize Liam.
In the middle of the fight? See, we're trying to be like, Kellen, really? Stabilizing him? There's battle going on. There's people swinging all over the place. Really, really, really? Like, you're in the very front line of this battle. If you go to stabilize him, maybe they won't attack you. Maybe they'll treat you as a medic and leave you alone. Or maybe, if they do attack you, you're a sitting duck. You'll be like bent down over a person. Making that decision have weight to it. If you try and save them, you're risking your life. Are you sure you want to risk your life for this man, Kellen? It's a big risk to try and stabilize him right now. Is that a risk you want to take?
I don't, but...
Is it a risk Kellen wants to take?
I've had to make so many decisions for my characters tonight that are not what I would do. It's very difficult. What would he do? What would he do? He would... Yeah, I think he would.
Kellen the Chaotic Good. You bend over and you start to treat him. It's a kind of a longer action, so I'll have you make your check at the... Thankfully, we can rely on the it takes a full round to bind someone's wounds rule, so that Kellen can't patch him up on the spot at the end of the round.
Okay.
But you are bandaging him up. Ransom, you go dead last.
Yeah, there is such... Well, I'll give it a shot anyways. Is there a way for me to run up to them? Like, there's a path, right?
You can get behind these guys, right? So we've already established that there's there's 3 PCs and an NPC between Ransom and the enemy. So he's in trouble. You have a glaive. You have a big reach weapon. You could, reach over all these people, or you could shove one of them off the pier if you want. It's kind of a tight space.
Goal, actually. So, who's the least important person that I could shove off on my way over?
Your brother.
All right.
Least important is such a subjective term, but I really like how quickly I pulled out your brother, because Ransom, Neeson have not interacted. In fact, Neeson has barely interacted at all the entire time they've been in Cuba. We just know that Ransom has a brother, so he needs to make an appearance, but he's one too many. He's one NPC too many, so we've been trying to get rid of him at every possible turn and find a reason why he's not in the room, which kind of makes him the least important NPC around.
I'm gonna charge straight for them. Get out the way, I say as I charge.
Hold on, let the NPCs that go before you go, though, and then we'll
okay.
So there are 3 left that haven't gone. One of them is looking at this person who's surrendering and yelling at her, "Pick up your sword! What are you doing?" Magic should have an effect. Someone randomly surrenders in the middle of the battle. Her allies aren't like robots who are going to fight to the death for no reason. We want to show that these NPCs, these bandits, these bounty hunters are people too. Pick up your weapon! Another one comes over and gets like a hand on Liam's leg and starts to drag him down the pier, but Kellen is already like on top of Liam and bandaging him. And now one of these bounty hunters is trying to drag Liam away from you. So Kellen, I'm gonna need you to make me an opposed strength check to see if you can maintain control of the body. They got good strength. They've got good strength. Ooh, they roll poorly. You roll more poorly, and they yank Liam out of your arm. See, one guy goes for it. If that person had failed the actual dice roll that we rolled, then we would have had the other NPC grab the leg and also try and pull it away from Kellen. And in that situation, we need to get that body away so Kellen doesn't fix it, right? So it either would have been someone interrupting Kellen healing him, or would have been someone dragging the body away so Kellen can't heal him. It would be some sort of interference that would have gone through. But luckily, this NPC did it with actual dice rolls, so we can rely on that, because that's always the preference. And start to like drag him down the dock.
I was healing him.
You were in the middle of like bandaging him up when they ripped him away from you. Like, oh, wah, wah, wah.
I know. I was saying
Can I
that to
stop them from doing that?
Sorry. And no, you already took your turn. And the last one who goes covers the person who's dragging the body, like retreats with the sword drawn, guarding them. This is an area where a battle map would help. You see these people dragging your father away down. Even though it's not that big of a battle map that we would need,
I'm just gonna...
I think it's followable if you understand your position, but not everyone else is as engaged with theater of mind as I am.
Just charge with my wave, like horizontal. I'm going to try to shove him off the pier.
Are you just like shoving the party off the pier, or just the enemy?
The bounty hunters.
Okay. So you squeeze past the party, which is easier now that Kellen is crouching down, which is easier now that you can't save Liam. So sure, you can take whatever action you want. That's fine. Especially since you're Liam's son, you could go ahead. You can slip through the rest of the party on this narrow bridge / pier and, you know, get towards the bounty hunters that are taking your dying father with them. There's the woman who's surrendering. Your glaive comes right up against her. Make me a opposed strength check.
I'll ignore her.
All right, there's the person who's standing behind her yelling at her to pick up her sword, who has a ready to action. He's actually supposed to make an attack roll here. She swipes out at you with it for a complete and utter miss. It's like a slash down that hits your glaive handle. You can go ahead and make me an opposed strength check to knock this person over. You should have first made an attack roll to hit her. Ooh, she botches it. If you can pass her strength check at all, which you do, you knock her and she tumbles into the water with a
Oh, and a fossil.
Yay, showing people dice rolls, yay! Going forward to the next person who has her sword out and ready. All right, we're actually gonna skip ahead a little bit because the battle doesn't really matter. The party tries. There's no actual necessary moment to fudge any rolls in this situation. It actually plays itself out quite fine. The scripted event that we lost control of because we read our dice rolls out loud when really he was just supposed to die becomes an unscripted event, and then we gain control of it again. And Kellen?
Yep.
Let's just skip ahead.
Olivia, get over here and heal him.
Boy, I'm trying.
This guy with the glaive horizontally, I'm trying to knock the dragger off also.
All right, make me an attack roll with it.
Trying.
All right, so
Kinda.
we're coming in at the point where Ransom has, like, all the enemies are gone.
Things are hectic right now. I'm doing my
Ransom
best.
is just trying to save his father, and it's too late. All the guards are gone except for the one who surrendered, and then it's just way too late. But she's looking around. She sees her other companions dead or in the water, so she drops her weapon and jumps in the water. The important part is that Liam's dying, but let's not forget the dressings of it. Let's not forget about this bounty hunter. She's just standing on this pier with everybody else. So yeah, she's gonna jump in the water and try and get the hell away too. Let's give our NPCs some semblance of, you know, personhood.
Can I rip up anything like off my clothing to help bandage him?
Absolutely. It's the next round.
I come up and do that.
shred your clothing. He's already dead. Initiative. Still.
Catch one of the guards.
Okay.
This is the round where he bleeds out. This is third round bleeding. And it doesn't matter what they roll, because we'll just say he bleeds out before them. Luckily, they all roll high once again, so it doesn't matter. All right. I think he rolled like a 3 or a 4 or something. It doesn't matter. If they had rolled a 1 + 2 for a 3, he would have rolled a 1. We would have fudged that one, because this is a scripted event where he dies.
It doesn't bleed as much.
All right. You begin to try and patch him up. Give me an intelligence check.
All right, this is my time as an intelligence fighter to shine. There we go.
31 is great. I don't know what I'm looking at right now. Just trying to check something for a moment. No idea what I was paying attention to. Father's body. And the bleeding stops. Or at least it slows. The battle music dies down. Trying to, really stop it. You scene change. His heart's not beating. The other reason we got rid of this remaining bounty hunter is if she didn't jump off the pier, she'd have to engage the party in some way, shape, or form. So let's get her out of here. So the battle's over, and all the enemy are gone. Oh, they're no longer problematic. It doesn't matter where they are. They're not interfering with the scene.
Olivia, get here with your healing.
Yeah, I'm coming. Move over. Grab one of those bounty hunters before they run away. Quick.
I move over.
I cast Orison while telling everyone to grab a bounty hunter.
You cast Orison on the body and nothing happens. Like, none of the flesh begins to knit. It just wastes completely. Music change.
Well,
I go and perform CPR.
there's nothing you can do.
It's just the heart beating, but you can make the heart pump back in.
No, that's not how it works.
No, you don't have a healing proficiency. You can't do it.
Not in this world.
Doesn't matter, but you know what? Pounding on the chest. The visual of Kess trying to resuscitate Ransom's dad is wonderful. So I'm not gonna say, like, you don't have a healing proficiency. Ransom already made a check to patch him up. Olivia already used magic. It's worthless. This is not about actually accomplishing anything. This is that Kess is trying. So we're not gonna be like, Kess, actually, you don't know CPR right now. You don't know how to help him. We're just gonna let her do her thing. You are 1 round too late. He bled to death on the final round before any of you guys could get to him. This is the same song, Lonesome West, that was playing when Kess and Ransom were first having their big fight. There's maybe 1,000 witnesses to the event on the docks. They barely even talk to you. I don't know if even you guys recognize them speaking to you, but they arrest the bounty hunters, haul them off to prison. Someone starts to drag away the body, and then one of the guards stops long enough to say, "You want a dead father? We need evidence of crime." But you tying right back in to the earlier crimes in the day, when it all started that Rhonda had killed somebody and there was all this evidence of crimes and blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. And now we've gone full circle. Of course, that wasn't planned. We didn't plan on Rhonda getting caught by the guards for those actions before. But as long as we're here, let's go ahead and kind of bring things around again. Yes, once again, the town guards are collecting evidence and going about their duties as law enforcement agents. If you want to spend time is okay.
Kellen's just kind of like overwhelmed and stunned. He kind of is just standing there motionless and looks at Ransom when they ask what to do with the body.
I'm tearing up.
I'm kind of overwhelmed. I'll, on seeing Cass try to do compressions in the chest? I'm gonna follow suit because I think that will work.
The guard just takes a few steps back and just watches. It's not about the success or failure of the compressions. This is about the emotion. Ransom's trying to do...
Olivia, what are you doing? More heals.
It's not working. I know.
Do it again.
Do it again.
Fine.
Yeah.
I pretend to try to heal him, and I add extra gestures so that they feel better.
It has no effect.
I keep doing it.
One by one, Kalia comes from the back of the pier and like pulls each of you away, like to a safe distance. Awkward. It should have been Kalia comes from the back of the pier and pulls you one by one away. But whatever. She says, give him his space. Kalia's saying give him his space when his father died. Just like he had been saying to Kess when her father died?
Kalia, you should be able to cast magic too.
Ooh, Trump has hit upon something that no one else has thought about. Okay, I know this is a sad scene. We should be talking about the sad scene, how important it is about Ransom's father dying, and how it mirrors Kess's father dying, and how it was the event of Kess's father dying that drove the real wedge between Kess and Ransom, and how it's Ransom's father's death that's going to bring them back together, and how, there's this, blah, 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 and it's all kind of coming back up. No, fuck that shit. Ransom's hitting on top of something really interesting. Cass and Kellen are bards. They're not nearly the badass bards that their mom is. We've been establishing that over and over again by calling her a rock star and saying, like, she plays all over the place. She can get these jobs. She easily knows how to, like, play in these places that need you to pay to play in them. Like, she's been on top of all the shit. So she's a very accomplished bard. Doesn't that mean she should be at least like a level 6 bard? And these guys have spells, so shouldn't Kalia also have spells? Ransom is bringing up something no one else has thought about. Kalia is probably like a level 10 bard or something. I don't know, I haven't sat down to figure out exactly what level she is, but she should be a level something something bard, and she should have spells. The step further is, why didn't she use those spells in combat?
You can bring
These are things that were thought about way in advance.
him back, right?
But it's really nice to see Ransom bring them up in game.
I say it while crying and like with my hands on his chest.
More to the point, bards get wizard spells in 2nd edition, not cleric spells, so she couldn't help them. She kind of strokes your hair gently a little bit and then walks away, leaving you alone with the body.
I go up to Ransom and I hold him from behind.
Boom. Ransom's father's dead. Kess is right there for him.
I kind of collapse.
She's gonna show him how to treat somebody whose parents have just died. Okay, we take body for evidence. You come collect whenever you want. Or never. We bury if you do not. I actually really like the accent of the guard right here. It kind of helps cut the seriousness, but at the same time, like, I don't know. I appreciate the semi-goofy accent in this serious setting.
And I just right into old Liam's chest.
I'm rubbing his back and just saying, I don't say anything, I just rub his back.
I lean over to Olivia and I'm like, why didn't you heal him earlier?
I did. When did you see a moment to do this?
I don't know. This is what I tried to do first thing.
I didn't.
Ooh, this isn't the first time Kellen and Olivia have been butting heads recently. They've been having some problems here and there. Why are you reading that person's mind? Why aren't you healing this guy? Why are you always talking about Guy? There was one other thing, but I can't remember what it was. But there are things that are coming up.
I didn't think he was that badly hurt. Like, And like, I saw you going for it. There was no way I was gonna get it. I don't know. I was really upset as these guards, and I thought we should just deal with them first.
It wasn't just because you didn't care and you wanted him to die?
Well, to be fair, he's a horrible person, so like, you know.
Yeah,
the only
but, like,
reason why I care is that he's Ransom's father, but besides that, he's like, you know.
Yeah, but we didn't want him to die, right? Like, just because he's a horrible
Well, I would have
person.
never killed him myself, nor would I have, like, tried to get anyone to kill him, but... Like, I wouldn't have want to risk
Are
any...
you saying this in earshot?
No,
No.
we're elsewhere.
No. I wouldn't have wanted to risk, you know, like, your life or Ransom's life to save him.
That sort of, are you saying this within earshot, is the wrong way to phrase that. What you want to say is, where are you standing right now? Because if you say, are you within earshot, you're asking the other players, are you saying this so I can hear it? What you're really asking them is, do you want me to hear what you're saying? I know that they're verbally saying, are you saying that within earshot? But what a player hears is, ooh, should I be saying this where he can hear it? No, I don't want that to be the case. And so then they answer based on that. What you should say is, or what you should ask is, where are you standing when, or where are you when you're having this conversation? Because then it's not so much, am I within earshot of Ransom? It's like, wait, where am I? Okay, I'm standing near the body, or, oh, you know what? I think we would have moved away from the body. It gives the players that are talking, that you're asking the question of, a little bit... It gives them a little bit more incentive to possibly be within earshot, rather than just asking, are you saying this, so, or do you want me to hear this, right? So you should, when asking those sorts of questions, you should always phrase them as broadly and generally as possible, with as little subtext. Is that the right word? That's not the right word. With a little, like, with as few implications in the direct line as possible, unless you're trying to manipulate someone into standing somewhere or not standing somewhere, right?
Pam, so I wanted to make sure we're okay.
Kellen's like just kind of burdened by this. Like, it's kind of dark, but
Well, of course it is. Someone died. That's like, of course it's freaking dark. And then I like storm off.
Ransom.
What?
I just give him a hug. Like, I squeeze tighter.
Yeah, I'll kind of lean back off of Liam, just into her arms.
Kalia comes up after a few moments and kind of whispers, the ship's leaving. We have to go.
No, we can't leave.
I thought it would be very fitting if they just hopped on the ship and sailed away right now. I thought that would have been like a poetic, he's dead, but we're trying to leave Akuba, so the ship is leaving, let's just get on and go right now. We can all leave together moment. But unfortunately, the players want to stick around.
Just died. Why would we leave now?
Because it's poetic or something like that. I don't know. Fine. You just hopped on the ship right now, we would have ended the episode right there, and it would have ended with him dying and then everyone sailing away.
Take the next one.
What do you want to do, Ransom?
Do you want us to keep him here? Should we take him with us?
Well, we can at least get Rhonda out with this. I kind of say while sobbing.
Yeah, let's go try and get Rhonda. I bet
That's
Mel
an
would
interesting
listen.
idea. How the hell does this get Rhonda out of jail?
These guys meant business. They were not like harmless little dudes and women. I go to the prison right now. I leave.
It's a pretty simple matter. Alright, it's total bullshit. These people, these bounty hunters killing Liam is no excuse for Rhonda killing one of them. However, I don't want to start arguing with the players about this sort of thing. I don't want this to turn into like a logistical problem when we should be having an emotional connection with a character right now over his father's death. So we're going to just say, fine, Rhonda can get out of jail. I don't give a shit. Let's engage with the moment right now. Let's not worry about the logistics of Rhonda being in jail. Let's not get distracted with that. Let's process the shit that we're dealing with here. So we let Rhonda out of jail and the bounty hunters take their place. And I'm sure you could come up with some flimsy line of logic that would make sense. But there's, you know, a million stronger reasons why that wouldn't work. But we're going to let it slide. We're going to let it happen. We're basically letting the players get a free character out of jail for nothing. But that's because we want to focus on the seriousness of what's going on right here. There's these bounty hunters who have been involved in 2 different murders, even though one of them died the first time.
Yeah.
And even though technically Rhonda is guilty of murder, like she did kill an unarmed individual, from their perspective, it's much easier to just blame everything on the bounty hunters.
Yeah.
They're just blanketly guilty, even if it's not true.
Yeah,
so we're kind of making up some bullshit for why Rhonda should get out of jail. It's pretty stupid, but let's just engage with the moment. So whatever, she's out of jail. Make amends. But they also let you know that Rhonda specifically is banned from Akuba.
Okay.
She's never allowed to come back.
Okay.
I'm so sorry, Ransom.
By the way, Neal, I sent out another letter to say never mind. It's okay.
Perfect. We've been set up very nicely for this. It wasn't our intent, but now we've got this great scene where yesterday Olivia sent a message and told them to fucking hurry to get to send to Kel Bell to be like, hey, your niece is in prison and you need to come and get her out. And then the party gets her out and like sends a follow-up communication. Haha, just kidding, we got her out of jail, don't worry about it. Well, due to the problems of message transportation in medieval times, it's very possible that second message doesn't arrive. So Kel Bell gets a message saying, oh my god, your niece is in jail, and tries to get her niece out, and then the Akubans are gonna be like, whoa, we don't have your niece, we don't have anybody by that name. And then God knows what's gonna happen. Hell, a war may break out over this prisoner exchange problem that starts right here with Olivia sending one message and then like kind of just following it up with another the next day. Like a haha, just kidding, we weren't being super serious about that sort of thing. Right? So this is a nice moment to cause some serious problems between the party and Kel Bell, and between the kingdom of Mystria and the kingdom of Akuba. This is a great opportunity to stir some shit up.
Okay.
And if we place this campaign in the greater setting of Arcadia, it's taking place during the year 1510. Because we already saw the event of the demons invading Eridon, and the party going and checking in Eridon and seeing like the demons conquering half that country. And this is also taking place like 6 months after the current events of Frozen Frontier, which would be Frozen Frontier episode 7. So to position ourselves and everything, Georg's already come through Eridon, fucked up all this shit. Hardcore Heroes cast has come up, done their crazy shenanigans, got together with Georg, went into the Shadow Realm, unleashed a whole demon army on the continent of Arcadia and the Kingdom of Eridon. The demon army eventually ran out of steam. Georg has been turned to stone. The other guys have fled to Drekis. Meanwhile, we don't even know what's happened with Frozen Frontier yet. We don't know where it's going to be at this point in time, but God, something's happening down in Caledonia, and now we can also like set in the same time frame maybe a war between Mystria and Akuba. And if we do that, then we're really setting the stage for continental change here, where Eridon has half its population killed, or at least half its kingdom or towns and cities destroyed. And then Drekis is gaining all of this wealth and power from Caledonia, and then Mystria and Akuba might be going to war, but Drekis and Akuba are hated enemies, and Mystria is like right bordering Eridon, which is kind of falling apart, so maybe their trade is falling apart. And then that kind of leaves just Matava and the Elven Kingdom of Silvis like sitting back going, what the fuck are we doing? But Silvis is already being kind of screwed over because the Red Dragon Scoria is burning it to the ground, and we haven't really dealt with Matava too much, but they're also kind of just like a small trade kingdom, so maybe they can just sit the whole thing out. But we're getting to the point where we could be having like the end of an age based on like the events of 4 different shows that have happened all in the same time frame, which is pretty cool. Show out another 10 gold.
Well, it's less express. I don't know if there's a way that's like
10 gold.
Okay. Damn it.
I never wanted this to happen. I never thought this would happen. I'm so sorry.
I come back out with Rhonda.
Whatever,
I brief
you're
her
about to
what
turn him
happened
in.
so that she can be like tactful.
Fuck that shit,
This is
Kess. You were about to
exactly what
turn
you
him in.
No, not for him to die.
Yeah, good job, Ransom. Good job. You tell her.
You just wanted him to rot in prison.
No, I wanted you out. That's all I wanted. I tried to keep him from being pushed over there.
Wait, he was pushed?
Ooh, Kess let something slip.
I mean, the gods came after us. I don't know exactly
Tries to cover up.
what happened, but I
Wait,
saw him
he
go
was
forward,
pushed?
so I grabbed him.
Ransom knowing how to metagame properly.
Why would you need to grab him?
I saw him trip. I don't know what I saw. I just saw him going
Anna knows what's going on.
towards the gods, and I pulled him back and tried to keep him from getting hit.
He was walking towards the bounty hunters?
I think so. I don't know exactly now. But I tried to do my best. We all did.
That doesn't make any sense at all. Look at me. Are you telling me the truth?
What's she gonna say? Is she gonna cover for Olivia? Is she gonna tell him the truth?
I look at him, and honestly, I have no idea what kind of happened because I'm kind of emotionally distraught. But I just let him know that.
What do you say?
I think about it. I try to think back to what happened, but I'm not exactly sure. I just know that I grabbed him. I thought I had seen Olivia push him, but I don't know for certain, and I don't want to say anything that will jeopardize anybody. So I let him know that, like, I don't know exactly what happened. I just know I grabbed him back to try to protect him, and they stabbed him right there.
All right, so we do a music change here because I was kind of getting tired of the Lonesome West. We don't want to play that out for like an hour. We're moving to Down by the Sea, and I don't know if I actually like that change.
Well, that's very distressing. Well, at least these people will all be sentenced for their murder.
Exactly, which is what they deserve. I'm sorry that they did this. I would have never wanted you to lose a father. I, of all people, know how hard that is.
Yeah.
Yes!
I just for the record, I appreciate you grieving. Try not to leave me alone.
Oh god, I love that line. Because the whole time, Ransom kept saying, Kess, if you wanted me to be with you, all you had to say was you want some of my time. That's all you had to say. Just say you want to spend time with me. And now that his father's dead, he's like, yeah, I need you to spend time with me. He's practicing what he's preaching. It's just like, it's really amusing. It tickles my fancy when he says that. I want to hear it again.
I just for the record, I appreciate you grieving. Try not to leave me alone.
I won't. And I give him a really big hug.
I'll give her a hug back. Because I kind of cry into her.
And I just take him in my arms and I'm just like running my hands through his hair. I'm so sorry.
Actually, maybe this is a good music change. Well, had some questions prepared for the band, but this doesn't really feel like the appropriate time to be asking you these questions. Maybe it's an okay time to ask Kellen these questions. You've been experimenting with various musical styles. So this is something I really wanted to get out before the end of the episode, and it just felt like an awkward time to do it. I'm glad they got asked, but maybe they would have been better served being asked next week. Maybe we should have just closed out the show here. It continues and it's not bad. But how perfect would this be if we just that was the end of the episode, we just closed out right away? You've seen you've found your dead father. You've seen Ransom's father get run through. It's been a very eventful period of months for you. How have all of these dramatic moments and all of these things been going on changed the sound of your band and of your writing style?
Helen's frustrated because it probably would be really good writing material, but he's had to deal with all this minutia that's been happening, so he hasn't had good time to write. So
she's been expressing frustration over dealing with the minutia for the whole episode.
Alone to sit and write, and they're not journeying anywhere, so he doesn't have the time, and Olivia needs his attention, so he has to spend time with her. So he feels like his sound is kind of stale right now because he has all these ideas, but he's only playing his the stuff he has been playing, and then his mom forced him to play with her, and he had to play even older stuff. So he's feeling musically frustrated, but I think spoken word is still his jam, but I think he's also experimenting with a little bit of folk feels right now. He's getting kind of he's feeling kind of the call of the road.
Olivia! I kind of shout out and realize.
As I come back with Rhonda.
I need you to prepare a speak for dead. Speak with dead.
Not today. Tomorrow.
Right, tomorrow.
Yes, of course.
I need you to ask Father why he decided to walk towards the bounty hunters.
I can do that tomorrow. Or I can tell you the truth. What do you want to know?
I can tell you I can do it tomorrow, or I can tell you the truth. Oh, Olivia.
The truth?
Well, I pushed him. I'm sorry. I didn't think things would unfold the way they did. I thought they would just try to take him away and that guards would stop him, and I was kind of mad at him for how he treated you and how he treated everybody. I really didn't think he would die out of this.
You did what?
I tried to make him surrender to them so that we wouldn't have to have more bloodshed.
I really like how Anna
but I'm not
is hiding right now. That's really I like it.
I'm telling you the truth because I respect you.
Yeah, Ransom's kind of fighting some inner turmoil right now.
I hold him tighter. I don't think she might.
You can only hold him so tight.
Of course not. I just thought he would try to run away and we'd fight again, and I didn't want any of us to get hurt, so I rather have him get caught by them and like we could find him or whatever. I guess it doesn't matter anymore.
Where are we right now, Neal?
I think you're still standing on the docks. Maybe I think you've probably actually gone back to the splash. If Jen has gone and gotten a Rhonda and come back here.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think you're probably in the common room at the splash right now.
Well, I'm really sorry about what happened, and I shouldn't have pushed him. But if you were in my situation, I don't think I could have foreseen this ending.
Now, this is just some pretty interesting Olivia Ransom drama that we're getting into, because to be honest, we don't see very much interaction between Olivia and Ransom. They interact the least out of any two characters. So seeing this opens some doors. Not Olivia. They killed him.
She killed him.
Ooh.
And even when she...
Ransom never is so direct and mean, like blaming, and he's never caught up in his emotions like that, or usually he's not. Maybe he is when he's with Kes, but that's more of like a, I'm kind of seeing this differently than you, and we've got different opinions. This is like blotting out the logic. She tried to push him, but she did fail to push him. It's her responsibility. We're seeing Ransom for the first time really like start to lose his character Trump lose his character Ransom in emotion, which is great.
Ransom, she did what she tried.
I kind of think back on the past events. I was the first one to heal him, even. How is that even possible? I charged through them. What were you doing? Now that I think about it, there was this light thing there for some reason.
I was trying to
How was there a spotlight there?
I was trying to blind the person dragging him away to stop him from dragging him away from
my father?
Well, I had to reach him and immobilize him to healing, so like it doesn't matter. Those are technicalities. Like, you're not a caster.
Ransom, I try to like soothe him and like I'm
Did you see
rubbing his arm.
Did you see Kellen trying to stop the bleeding? It didn't work either. Like, I would have been in the same situation as Kellen.
Yeah, man, I totally saw Kellen like trying to patch him up. Where was Guy in all of that? He wasn't really there. In my mind, he was like on the boat already. Like, he was the very first one down the dock. Because he certainly wasn't behind everybody else, but whatever.
It didn't work either. Everyone did their best. Except that one push, but that was a mistaken judgment. In the heat of the moment, I thought it would resolve the conflict.
Right. It certainly did, I say with a really dark voice.
Ransom.
Definitely resolved our conflict.
Ransom, look at me. And I pull his like head, like I face him to me. Nobody wanted your father to die. Nobody wanted that, okay?
Right.
Awkward.
You can ask your questions, Neal.
Kes, how do you think the events of the last few sessions have affected your musical stylings?
My musical stylings, I mean, I feel emotion charges me, so I'm playing my heart out, but there's just still a lot of turmoil going on, so while I'm playing, you can definitely feel my emotions while I'm playing. So it's very evident. It's not like what I used to be, this happy-go-lucky, dance around and like play. Now I'm like very like soft-spoken and like very deep in the music. I'm like,
what would bring you out of such a emotional lull? You know, like a dark spot.
I think part of it is the fact that now I'm going to be helping someone else who's.
So I do want to talk to these players about their changing sound and, you know, be like, how is your music changing? How are things developing for you? Because, you know, musicians go through change. You can listen to you know, the first couple albums of Radiohead, and then when you get into their third and fourth album, you're like, what the fuck is this shit? And then, you know, you get on to their later albums, and their sound keeps changing. Sometimes this is a problem. Sometimes people are like, oh my god, this band sucks now. Sometimes that's great, you know, but musical stylings change. And so this is an important question, because at the end of the day, this is a campaign about traveling bards and their romance. It is about Kess and Kellen. They are the core of this story. So how their sound changes is important, and we need to ask it. Maybe it would have been better to ask it beginning of the next episode. I don't know.
Problems are like not greater than mine, but similar or greater to mine. So I think that's going to connect us more. And then also the fact that, you know, I'm focusing on someone else that's going through a lot. So my problems aren't going to feel as strong because I'm naturally wanting to help people. And I'm thinking of what Kellen said to me about, you know, looking within yourself. And I'm like, I need to find that girl that I was before. And so I'm like trying to pull that back in, and by helping, and that's what I'll be doing. And I think that's going to hopefully pull me out of it, unless I have crazy dreams again, and then I'll probably get sucked back in.
Yeah. Olivia,
Yep.
You were kind of hitting on Guy a lot earlier in this session. I feel like your relationship, your viewpoint of Guy has changed a lot recently. Is there anything that you want to share with us about that, or are you kind of keeping it close to yourself?
Mostly keeping it to myself. But I mean,
yeah, except for all the things that she was saying about how hot he is.
Olivia thought Guy was into her the whole time, for a long, long time. But she, like, assumes that out of every guy. And, you know, he was really sweet to her and stuff. Then when she found out he was actually into Kellen, it was a mix of, like, disappointment, jealousy, and being hurt because she felt he was using her to get close to Kellen. And then she actually considered the option that he never...
All right, I don't think there's anything else important. I think we go on for like another 10 minutes, but it's all pretty much the same, and then we do shout-outs, and then the show ends. Yeah, I think there's like another 2 minutes of this. Well, let's just finish it. It's probably only 2
actually
minutes.
lied and was into both of them. And then she felt better about it. Because that kind of removes all the frustration, you know, like... There's no lies, there's no, like, trickery. So then she's just thinking, oh, well, maybe Guy's just, like, a loving guy, you know?
Kellen. I had one more question for Kellen.
And she finds that interesting.
Yeah, whatever. It goes on for another 2 minutes of just asking questions. It's more about their musical stylings and their preferences. There's nothing super important that we get to that needs any sort of commentary. That's the end of that, and then there's shout-outs. So that is the end of our Misclicks devotion, Misclicks D&D devotion, Chapter 1, Episode 27, Director's Commentary. It has taken us like 50% longer than the course of the episode to do the commentary, and I think that seems to be the going rate. That, you know, if the episode's an hour, it takes us an hour and a half to get through the commentary for it, because we pause it and we rarely skip around. So that's that. This is a blast. I think we are going to next time do commentary on Shenanigans or on Frozen Frontier. I've been enjoying the devotion commentaries, but I do want to do some commentaries on other campaigns that aren't so relationship based and a little bit more, you know, world based, at least to give it a shot and see what it's like. So that's it. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for watching. And I'll see you guys next time for some more Koibu's director commentary, or director's commentary. I don't know. The overlay has my name on it. I don't know. Director's commentary. See you guys later.